The silent thunder, the art of commanding without speaking. Picture this. You enter a room, no rush, no wasted motion. Not a single word escapes your lips. Yet, the air shifts, eyes turn toward you without knowing why. The chatter softens, the noise bends around your presence. Even those who aren't aware of you feel you. Aristotle said it plainly. Character is the most effective means of persuasion. Before your voice touches the air, your very being is already speaking. An ancient language, older than speech itself. It can crown you with influence or strip you bare in an instant. Here's the truth they never taught you. You've been trained to obsess over clever words, but science shows 93% of communication is nonverbal. Your face, your posture, your stillness. They are either sharpening your authority or bleeding it out drop by drop. And you have 7 seconds, no more, to command respect, trust, or to be dismissed entirely. 7 seconds, less than a single heartbeat. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." In our time, that means stop proving your worth with noise. Let your presence speak the verdict before you ever open your mouth. Because silence, true, deliberate silence, is not the absence of power. It is power distilled. The unseen language of power. Mastering the 93% they never teach you. Words are the surface. What truly sways people, what makes them follow you, trust you, or fear you, moves beneath, unseen. Like an iceberg, only a sliver shows above the water. Just 7% of communication is verbal. The other 93% is an unspoken tongue. Your posture, your eyes, your stillness, your very energy. Aristotle said, "The soul never thinks without an image." Before your first syllable escapes, the image of who you are is already painted in their minds. And that first picture is almost impossible to erase. The 7-second trial. The clock begins the instant you appear. In 7 seconds, less than a breath, instinct has weighed your confidence, your authority, your worth. Marcus Aurelius warned, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In those moments, your thoughts are visible only in the way you stand, the way you look, the way you are. History's silent commanders. Alexander the Great could still a battlefield with a single glance. Not through volume, but through certainty that radiated like heat. Napoleon's men swore his mere presence felt like 10,000 reinforcements. Churchill's stillness and unblinking gaze in wartime said more than 1,000 speeches ever could. Nietzsche understood this. All credibility, all good conscience, all evidence of truth comes only from the senses. They sense your power before they hear your plan. They feel your certainty before they know your vision. The Stoics guarded this truth. Do not declare you are a leader. Make them feel it. Because in every meeting, in every room, you are speaking without a sound. The only question is, are you designing that message or leaving it to chance? Decoding the silent signals, the invisible script that commands respect. Before your lips part, before your mind shapes a single word, your body has already delivered a speech, and in that speech lies your influence, or your defeat. Aristotle taught, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Every flicker of your eyes, every tilt of your shoulders, every inch of space you claim or surrender is habit, and habit speaks louder than any voice. The eye gaze. The window and the weapon eyes don't just see, they declare. A steady, unblinking gaze whispers, "I am certain." Hold it longer, and it commands, "I am in control." This is the power stare, not a glare, but ownership of the invisible thread between you and another. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." A disciplined mind produces eyes that pierce without aggression, that dominate without desperation. Posture and presence, the architecture of command. Your stance is your throne, shoulders back, not rigid but resolute. Chin level, not in arrogance, not in submission, but balanced, as though the world is your equal, and you its ruler. Nietzsche believed, all truly great thoughts are conceived while walking. Even in motion, your body should announce, I am deliberate. I am here on purpose. Gestures and territory, owning the air around you. Your gestures are punctuation marks in your silent speech. Open palms can disarm. Precise, contained movements can radiate control. Then there's territory, your proxemic zone. Great leaders expand it when they need dominance, guard it when they need strength. Samurai called the space within a blade's reach sacred. In human interaction, that space is a silent reminder of your boundaries and your authority. Epictetus gave the blueprint. First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Every silent signal should be a rehearsal of the man you want the world to see. Because if you don't write your invisible script, they will. And by the time you speak, your role will already be decided. The psychology of nonverbal influence. How to own a room without a word. Real power does not always roar. It can stand motionless in the shadows, and yet make every heartbeat in the room unconsciously match its rhythm. Aristotle said, the energy of the mind is the essence of life. The calm you carry, the certainty you project, the intent you radiate. These are felt before they are understood. And here's the truth. You don't just influence conversations, you alter atmospheres. Mirroring and mismatching. Controlling the dance humans are natural imitators. We mirror posture, tone, even breath. It's a primal cue of trust. Skilled communicators use this to blend in, build rapport, and disarm. But true command comes when you break the mirror. You slow your speech, you shift your stance, and suddenly they follow you. Marcus Aurelius said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. When you lead the rhythm, you dye the entire room in your colors. Emotional contagion, infecting the air. A nervous man spreads unease without a sound. A centered man becomes an anchor others cling to in chaos. Science calls it emotional contagion. The Stoics called it mastery of the self. Nietzsche warned, he who fights with monsters should be careful lest he thereby become a monster. The emotions you bring into a room will own you, so choose them like a warrior chooses his blade. Micro-expressions, the blink that betrays you. Micro-expressions are cracks in the mask, tiny flashes of truth that last less than half a second. A flicker of fear, a spark of anger, a smirk of contempt. They betray you instantly. The man who reads them sees through others. The man who controls them becomes unreadable. And unreadable men are dangerous in the best way. Epictetus taught, no man is free who is not master of himself. Nonverbal influence isn't an act, it's the visible shadow of your inner state. When that state is unshakable, your presence becomes magnetic, your silence becomes command, and the room bends to your will. You don't just walk in, you arrive. Practical applications, forging an unshakable presence. A man can study every scroll of wisdom, yet if his stance wavers, his gaze falters, his tone betrays him, his power remains theory, not reality. Aristotle said, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Presence is not performance, it's discipline. And like a warrior's blade, it must be honed until every movement speaks for you. The open body technique, wearing strength like armor. Your body is a constant broadcast of your inner world. Shoulders relaxed yet upright, chest expanded, not puffed but assured. Arms free, unguarded. This says, I am not hiding. I fear nothing here. Marcus Aurelius advised, stand upright, not as if you were being kept upright. True posture is not a costume. It is the natural shape of a mind that is unafraid. Voice, tone, and cadence. The weight behind the words. A man's tone can be steel or silk, Lower tones radiate calm authority. Deliberate pacing shows you're not rushing to be heard. You are letting others arrive at your words. Speak as if you are laying down stones for others to step upon. Aristotle observed, "Character may almost be called the most effective means of persuasion." Your voice is the echo of that character. Strategic pauses. The silence that commands most speak to kill silence. The wise use silence to make words live longer. A pause after a statement is a silent challenge. Do you feel the weight of what I just said? In stillness, your words grow heavier in memory. Seneca wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned through life's many sufferings." Every pause draws others closer, not because you chase their attention, but because you pull it toward you. Epictetus urged, "First say to yourself what you would be, then do what you have to do." When your body language is deliberate, your tone controlled, your silence sharpened, you stop trying to influence. Your very presence becomes the influence. In a world of loud, desperate voices, it is the calm, deliberate man who owns the room. The art of ethical dominance, power without poison. Power is intoxicating, but like wine, if taken without discipline, it clouds the mind and corrodes the soul. The greatest danger is not in losing power, it is in losing yourself while holding it. Aristotle warned, "The most perfect political community is one in which the middle class is in control and outnumbers both of the other classes." Balance is the essence of good governance. Imbalance is the essence of true presence. True dominance is not the roar of the lion. It is the stillness of the lion who knows he does not need to roar. The fine line, presence without pretense. Dominance turns to poison when it serves manipulation. It is the difference between a general who inspires and a tyrant who enslaves. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "A man's worth is no greater than the worth of his ambitions." Let your body language reflect the purity of your intent, strength without oppression, confidence without arrogance. Authenticity, the invisible magnet. When your signals rise from truth, people feel it. The openness of your stance, the steadiness of your eyes, the calm weight of your movements. These are not tricks. They are the reflections of a man anchored in integrity. Epictetus taught, "First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. First be the man you wish to appear to be, then presence will follow." The legacy of silent influence. Every gesture, every pause, every tilt of the head plants a seed in the minds of those who watch you. Over time, these seeds grow into the forest of your reputation. Seneca said, "A great man is one who uses earthenware as if it were silver, and silver as if it were earthenware." True power carries itself lightly, never straining to impress, never desperate to dominate. In the end, ethical dominance is not about controlling others. It is about mastering yourself so fully that your very presence elevates every room you enter. It is the art of being both anchor and wind, steady enough to inspire trust, strong enough to inspire movement. And remember, when silence is born of virtue, its voice can shake empires without ever making a sound. The power in your silence. Everything we've explored, the gaze that holds, the posture that commands, the space you claim, the pauses you master, leads to one truth. Real power isn't in forcing others to listen. It's in making them want to. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Shape your presence daily, authentically, intentionally, consistently, and influence will stop being something you chase. It will become something you are. Power can be given, taken, or lost, but presence, when built on integrity, is untouchable. It's not about being the loudest in the room. It's about being the one they cannot ignore, even in silence. From this moment on, step into every space not to be noticed, but to be felt. Let your silence speak like thunder, and your stillness carry the weight of storms. If this speaks to you, leave your mark. Like, share, and join us at the Century Oracle. Together, we'll master the art of influence that outlives words. And echoes long after we are gone.